Hi, I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for joining me for this 30-minute yoga practice. I have a yoga mat, but if you don't, fear not. Find a place in your house that has carpeting. Maybe you've got a rug that can serve as your yoga mat for today. And although I'm barefoot, if you're more comfortable wearing shoes, that's great, no problem. I have a folded blanket. This is literally the folded blanket from my couch. You could do the same. Maybe you have a big bath towel or a beach towel that you prefer to use. And then 2 blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, 2 thick books are a great substitute. We'll start standing in the bedrock of all poses, our mountain pose with our feet hip distance and parallel. It is also the starting and ending point of a sun salutation, and sun salutations for a flow style of yoga are also a bit of bedrock. We'll be spending some time with both. So let's start here. Little soft bend in our knees, turn your palms away from each other, let that uplift your heart. And let's truly land. Let's stop so that we can start. Start to pay attention to your breath in a new way. If you're able to just breathe in and out through your nose, that's great. If not, all I ask is that there be awareness around your breathing. We'll add some movement. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V. And then exhale, float your arms along your side, palms face out. Twice more, just like that. That's simple. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V. And then exhale, float your arms along your sides. Last one, inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V. Exhale, float your arms along your sides, and then we'll add on. Inhale, flowing, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. First, take your hands to your thighs. Let's traction our hands on our thighs to understand that as we fold at our hips, we keep length in our spine. Keep this length and then venture your hands maybe down towards your shins, possibly down towards your ankles. But this is not a rounding, this is a hinging and a lengthening. Now lift your heart and slide your hands up as you do. Hinge back into your forward fold with a long spine. And then rise, reach, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Stand into your mountain palms, face out. Inhale, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to shins, ankles, thighs. Then inhale, slide your hands up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, bend your knees deeply enough that your hands can go flat on your mat. And then step to our first down dog of the day. So step back and let's get a few things really clear. We're not collapsed with our elbows bending. There's not shoulders in our ears. I want you to push the ground away. Like you're trying to push your hips towards that place where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. Bend your knees deeply. Be about as wide as your mat with your feet, and prioritize a very long spine like we just talked about in our forward fold. And you will find that prioritizing our long spine is something we talk about a lot in this practice. Walk your feet forward, hip distance. Inhale, lift your heart, slide your hands up to your shins, thighs, ankles. Exhale, keep the length as we hinge and fold, and then rise, reach thumbs to the sky, inhaling. Float your arms along your side and pause. Inhale, arms to the sky, V-shape, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to thighs, shins or ankles. Inhale, slide your hands up, bend your knees deeply, palms flat. Step to down dog with your hips lifting high. Prioritize that length in your spine. Shift to plank, shoulders over wrists. We're not collapsed, we're pushing the ground away here too, and then find the hook in your tailbone to head back to down dog. Walk your feet forward, hip distance. Inhale, hands to ankles, shins or thighs as you uplift your heart. Exhale, slide your hands down, but keep the length in your spine. And then inhale, rise, reach thumbs to the sky. Pause in your mountain, palms face out. Adding more, inhale, V shape. Exhale, hinge, hands to thighs, shins or ankles.
Inhale, lift your heart, slide your hands up, bend your knees deeply, palms flat, step to down dog. Prioritize the length in your spine, keep pushing the ground away as we come to plank, and now bring your knees to your mat, but let it stay like a plank. Still no collapse into our shoulders. In one piece, slowly with your belly firm, all the way down onto your belly, uncurl your toes, take your forearms parallel to the long edges of your mat, press into the tops of your feet so you activate your legs, traction your elbows towards you, keep your chin parallel to the ground and feel like your heart is peeking through the gateway of your arms. Lower down, take your hands next to your ribs, curl your toes under, firm your belly, come to all fours. Remember the hook in your tailbone as we head to down dog. And then walk your feet forward, hip distance all the way up to your hands, and take your hands to your ankles, shins, or thighs. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge at your hips and slide your hands down a bit, and then inhale, rise. Reach thumbs to the sky, V. Pause, palms face out in our mountain. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to thighs, shins, or ankles. Inhale, slide your hands up, bend your knees deeply, palms flat, down dog. From down dog, keep pushing the ground away into your plank, knees down in one solid piece. We lower down, uncurl our toes, and either keep our hands where they are as we drag our heart through the gateway of our arms, or we go to the Sphinx pose we all did together. Lower down, curl your toes under, come through all fours. And then lift your hips up, find the hook in your tailbone, downward facing dog. That is our sun salutation A. We'll complete it by walking our feet to our hands, hip distance, hands to ankles, shins or thighs as we uplift our heart. Slide your hands down, keep the length in your spine. Inhale, rise, reach thumbs to the sky, and we stand in our mountain, which I said is the bedrock of all poses. And that sun salutation A is a bit of a bedrock to all sun salutations. We will be visiting those sun salutations today in this practice. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Imagine sitting back into a chair and then just stand up for a moment and float your arms along your sides. We'll do that 2 more times to launch our sun salutation B. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, V. Stand up. Arms along your side, pause. 1 more time, chair pose, thumbs to the sky. This time, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs, shins or ankles folding. Slide your hands up as you uplift your heart and bend your knees deeply. Palms go flat, downward facing dog. In down dog, lift your right leg back behind you and then step your right foot forward. It might take helping it along. You might want to reach for your 2 blocks, take them to either side of your right foot, just so we can get the foundation of this sun salutation. Heel toe right foot over to the right, firm through your belly, maybe bend your back knee, your left knee, come upright, thumbs to the sky, V shape, and then carefully, hands to your mat, step into your downward facing dog. Remember that we're pushing the ground away, lifting our hips high. Come to plank, keep pushing the ground away. A solid chunk with our knees to our mat, and now all the way down onto our bellies. Uncurl your toes and activate your legs. Draw your heart through the gateway of your arms, either Sphinx or Cobra. Lower down, curl your toes under, firm through your belly. Come through all fours and into downward facing dog. In down dog, lift your left leg back behind you. Step that left foot forward. You may want to help it along, and perhaps trotting your 2 blocks onto either side of that left foot is helpful. Heel toe left foot to the left. Get solid in your foundation. Bend your right knee a little bit to come upright as if doing a mountain pose here in between our 2 asymmetrical legs. Had a little wobble there. Maybe you did too. And then release your hands to your mat. Take your hands flat for down dog. From down dog, lengthening through our spine, let's walk forward, feet to hands, hip distance. Take your hands up your shins. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge at your hips and slide your hands down. Then chair pose, so bend your knees,
Sit back into your heels, V-shape your arms to the sky, and stand into your mountain, pausing here for a moment. Let's flow just that once more. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Hands to thighs, shins or ankles as we fold. Slide your hands up, inhale, lift your heart, bend your knees deeply, palms flat, step it to down dog. Remember that we're pushing the ground away. Lift your right leg behind you, step it through, feel free to help it along. You might bring your blocks into the mix. Bend your back knee, come upright, V-shape, thumbs to the sky with your arms, and then return your hands to your mat for down dog. Push the ground away, find the hook in your tailbone, keep pushing the ground away as we come to plank. Bring your knees to your mat, lower all the way down onto your belly. Uncurl your toes for either Sphinx or Cobra. Lower down and curl your toes under, through all fours we go. Push the ground away a lot, find the hook in your tailbone as we come to down dog. Lift your left leg behind you, step your left foot forward, maybe help it along, and then with a bend in your back knee, upright we go. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, maybe a V. Place your hands flat, step it to down dog. From down dog, bend your knees, walk forward, feet are hip distance. We take our hands to our ankles, shins, or thighs as we inhale and uplift our heart. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. It's a chair pose, exit, so sit deep, thumbs to the sky, V, and then stand and pause, palms face out. That's sun salutation B. This is sun salutation C. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to thighs, shins, or ankles. Slide your hands up, take your two blocks and frame your right foot as you step your left foot back. And voila, here we are on the ball of our back foot. It's just a different entrance. It will come upright, thumbs to the sky, V-shape with our arms. Palms flat, down dog. From down dog, push the ground away into plank. Bend your knees, place your knees down. Come all the way onto your belly. Uncurl your toes as we draw our chest to the gateway of our arms. Lower down, curl your toes under. Come through all fours. From all fours, down dog. Lift your hips up and back. Walk your feet forward to your hands, they are hip distance. Slide your hands up, lift your heart up. Slide your hands down, keep your spine long. Inhale, rise, reach, thumbs to the sky, and then pause in your mountain, palms face out. Second side of our sun salutation C. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to thighs, shins, or ankles. Slide your hands up, inhale, take your blocks into the mix. Step your right foot back, so your left foot is forward, firm through your belly, come upright crescent, thumbs to the sky. And then release your hands to your mat. Down dog, lift your hips high. Shift to plank, push the ground away, bring your knees to your mat. Slowly, carefully, all the way down. Uncurl your toes for either Cobra or Sphinx pose. Lower down, curl your toes under. Come through all fours. Push the ground away effectively as you come with your hook in your tailbone to your downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward, hip distance, front of your mat, hands to ankles, shins, or thighs as we inhale and uplift our heart. Exhale, slide your hands down and then rise. Reach, thumbs to the sky. Inhale, V-shape, and stand into your mountain. Pausing in your mountain. One more sun salutation bit of fun, something called dancing warrior. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs or shins or ankles. Slide your hands up and then bend your knees, palms flat. We step to our downward facing dog. Remember to push the ground away. Lift your right leg behind you. Step it forward, no shame in helping it along, and bring yourself up into your crescent pose. Here's where it gets different. Ready? Back foot flat.
Inch your right foot over to the left, warrior two, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Take your right forearm across your right thigh and your left arm up to the sky. Come back to warrior two, thumbs to the sky. Take your left hand light as a feather down your left leg, right thumb to the sky, we reach high. And then we will turn back into our crescent, so spin on your left toes. Take your hands to your mat, step it to your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, lift your left leg behind you. Step your left foot forward. You may want to help it along. We'll come up first into our friend crescent pose. Thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side, then carefully drop your back heel, inch your left foot over to the right a little bit, warrior two, then left forearm across our thigh, right arm up to the sky, a pause. Back to warrior two, thumbs to the sky, and then right hand so light on your right thigh, left arm up to the sky. Come back, turning on your right toes into our friend crescent pose, hands to your mat, downward facing dog. Shift it to a plank, push the ground away, strong, knees down all the way to your belly. Uncurl your toes into a sphinx or into your cobra. Lower down, curl your toes under, come through all fours. Make your way to down dog, or I give you the option to bring your knees to your mat and take a child's pose because I am flowing you quite strong. So if you need a break, take a break. If you have a little extra gas in the tank, from down dog, lift your right leg, step it forward into a crescent. From our crescent, our dancing warrior again, drop your back heel, open it out, heel toe, right foot over to the left, warrior two. Right forearm across your thigh, left arm to the sky. We come back to warrior two, and then left hand so light on your left thigh, right thumb to the sky. Turn on your back toes, make your way to crescent pose, palms flat, step it into down dog. From your down dog, lift your left leg behind you, step it forward and come up into your crescent pose. Back heel drops, heel toe, left foot over to the right, warrior two, left forearm across the thigh, right arm to the sky, thumb to the sky. We come back through our warrior two. We take our right hand onto our right thigh, so light as a feather, left thumb to the sky. And then we will spin on our back toes, make our way back into our crescent pose, and then hands to your mat, step it to down dog. Remember, very long spine, hook in our tailbone. Shift it to a plank, shoulders over your wrists, knees down, lower all the way down onto your belly. And this time, once you're on your belly, make it sphinx pose like we did at the very beginning. Press into the tops of your feet, draw your chest through the gateway of your arms, and then lie down and make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on the tops of your hands, bend your knees, windshield wiper, back and forth. Let it feel great. Lots of flow. Really, really great flow. Many, many sun salutations sometimes, right? Now I'd like you to keep the shape of what your legs are doing with your feet to the sky. And I want you to be super mindful of whether or not this feels okay to you. So I don't want you to feel like you're doing too much in your low back. Imagine that you're trying to tuck your tailbone right now with your knees bent and your feet to the sky. And then bring your hands back into that sphinx position. And let's very carefully bring our elbows towards us and almost try to tuck our tailbone. And right now our thighs are down on the ground. And then you'll see it's very tempting to struggle with your neck, and I'm going to ask you not to do that. 2 moments in sphinx arms with bent knees and feet towards the sky. Lower down, make a pillow with your hands, come back into your windshield wipers. This time, you can repeat what we just did with your knees bent and the sphinx pose, but I'd like us to find that
feeling of a tuck in our tailbone, or lower down, reach back with your hands, don't hold on just yet, and see if you can reach back towards your feet. We're still pressing our thighs down into the ground, and we're trying to imagine tucking our tailbone while we're here. 2 moments. Then a pillow with our hands and the windshield wipers reappear. You can stick with another round of the Sphinx arms. You can stick with reaching back but not holding on. Or a few of you will be able to hold on to your feet. And when I say be able to, it's not because the others are bad or wrong. They're just different ways of doing the same thing. You could kick your legs up and back and maybe venture your thigh bones off the ground, but I want you to make certain that it's not painful in your low back at all. And it's giving you that feeling of heart through the gateway of your arms, wherever you are. 3 moments here. Lower down. Roll over onto your back. Place your feet on your mat hip distance once you're lying down. And with our feet on our mat, let's create what's called robot arms. So elbows next to your ribs. Shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you so they don't feel like they're winging out to the side. They feel like they're flat against the ground with your fingers facing the sky. And then press into your feet. Feet are hip distance. Like I said, the bedrock of our mountain pose. They look like they're in mountain pose even though the rest of you does not right now. As you lift your hips, I want you to think of lengthening your hips. So imagine that your tailbone wants to go to the backs of your knees. It's not an objective to try to get your hips super high. We want length through our spine. And then lower down. Place a hand on your heart and a hand on your low belly. And pause a moment here. Once again, elbows in snug next to our ribs, and then shoulder blades tucked underneath us instead of winging out to the side. And then we'll slowly start to lift our hips, but really we're lengthening our hips to the backs of our knees. And although I'm turning to look at you, your back of your head is on your mat. You could stay here, maybe interlace your hands, snuggle your shoulder blades even closer to one another. But if that's not quite where you want to go with it, stay with your robot arms. 2 moments lengthening your tailbone to the backs of your knees, no matter what your arms are doing. Lower your hips down. Place a hand on your heart and a hand on your low belly. Pause a few moments here. We'll take a twist. Scoot your hips over to the right. Let your knees drop over to the left. Maybe you cross your right knee over your left knee. And we will luxuriate here for a few moments. Feels pretty good after all that movement, right? To get still. From here on out, we will really be in the stillness of the practice. A few more moments here on this side of our twist. Unwind and place your feet on your mat. Scoot your hips to the left. Let your knees drop to the right. Left knee can cross over right knee. And we pause. And we took a nice long stretch on our first side, so we will do that here on this side too. Take your left arm over to the right side of your body and bring yourself up to a comfortable way to sit.
I am going to sit on my folded blanket. You could even sit on a block or a cushion from your couch, because we will be here, like I said, in some stillness for a while. And it's our hip opener and a final meditation that we're taking. It's not a cross at your ankles, it's really more a cross at your shins. And if your knees are very high, if you have tight hips like I do, perching up on something will help bring those thigh bones down, bring us into the stretch that we want, and also make things a little bit more comfortable, especially for places like our knees. So we've got our right shin in front, we've crisscrossed at our shins, palms up or down. We will take a twist for our first side, so arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn to your right, take the back of your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, and your right hand back behind you, and then let's grow that out. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, little loving nudge into your twist. Come through center, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn to your left. Now it's the back of your right hand to the outside of your left thigh, left hand, pardon me, behind you. And we'll inhale and grow tall, and exhale into our twist. Unwind. Let's reconfigure our legs, so lean back, and you can give yourself a little waggle if you'd like to in between sides. Maybe this side requires a little bit more proppage or a little less proppage, but we cross not at the ankles, at the shins. This time it's left shin in front, unless you happen to have done the other side. We get comfortable enough in our seat that we can take a little bit of an extended seated meditation, and I'm going to give you agency to decide if you would like to close your practice in this meditated seat, or take a moment here and then lie down in our final Shavasana meditation. So you get to decide. Let's start here, palms up or down. You can close your eyes or just divert your gaze. And then either choose to stay here in a seated meditation as I'm going to do, or lie down on your back, all good, you decide. We'll get quiet for a couple of minutes and rest and digest. If you are lying down in your Shavasana final meditation, you might think about collecting your knees into your chest and easing your way up to any comfortable seat. Could be the cross-legged seat that some of us are in. And once we do that, let's place our hands on our heart. Take a moment, grateful that we can do this practice together. Know that I am very grateful to you for joining me.
I'm Andrea, and I look forward to us doing this again